Hello there. Today we got a guide and tips on getting started in Manor Lords. Because this game has lots of tiny little mechanics that you might want to be aware of on getting started in this game, because it might be a little bit difficult to actually build up your town and not run out of food and not get killed by bandits right away. The whole goal of this game is to actually get your stuff leveled up as fast as possible, so you'll be able to actually claim some of these other lands off these other guys. I recommend, if it's your first time playing, don't play the map where you got to deal with the other guy, with the other lords. Just worry about the building up your city and getting used to the mechanics on that part, and not bother with this, because the bandits are going to pop up and then they're going to start stealing your resources. If this guy is going to be taking stuff over right away, it's going to be discouraging, because this guy will take over like at least 2 lands before you even have enough to actually have an army to do anything, just because he has all he does is just buy armies and send them around. If you want to attack him, you're going to have a problem. So there's a bandit camp right there, so I don't recommend doing that. But yeah, you're going to start off on one of these random zones, and the zones where you're going to want to look at first and what's going to matter. You have to predict what you're going to do for yourself. Like, for example, I have iron deposits and clay deposits as a rich resource, so that's going to matter on what I'm going to do for leveling up and what I can be focusing on. So that's pretty good. Other zones like hunting is really good to have a start. Anything that's going to have a rich deposit can be good if you build it up appropriately for yourself. But yeah, let's get started on here. We have this. This is our location. Let's get started. It's going to be different each time on what you're going to have to do. So you get started, you have 5 guys, you have a race. You pause the game right away, and it is a literal race to get everything done. You have to get your logging camp up and running. You have to get your resources off the ground. You have to have houses for your people, because you will have to get a lot of people faster, and that's going to that's going to be your approval rating. And you have to deal with that right away. And then having homeless people and not having enough food to get above 50%, you're not going to get any people. And if you're slow, you're just going to die. You're going to die off right away. And you need a lot of food. So we're going to cover all the tips to cover all that stuff and your priorities on that. And one of the first priorities you're going to have to worry about is actually looking far ahead in the future. It's going to be far ahead in the future on your farming skills. So yeah, the fields. What can you do in your zone, and check it out. So we can check our zone out. Not all the time. We're not going to have enough resources in the green for wheat fields. So luckily I have some in this one. But yeah, unfortunately, flax is a good source of getting clothing. We need clothing to make our guys happy. And then just that one little green spot on our side of the map is not really good. But barley is going to be the most important one that we're going to have, because to get to level 3 in this game, you're going to have a tavern. And it's going to be a lot of money if you're going to import beer or import barley from the traders. That's going to take a lot of resources. You're going to want to get your farming fields up and running, and we don't want to build over our town that we're going to build and have them covering off all these resources. Like, right here, this is like a nice good yellow area, and we can check it for green. Well, this isn't really that good for the other wheat, and it's not really good for the third one, the flax, either. So that's not really the best place overall. The other place over here, for example, would be barley's in the yellow, the flax is in the yellow, and there's lots of green right here. So this is like a better location to start off where our farm's going to be, and we're going to worry about barley first. Now, one of the most important things to know in this game is your fields have 3 different kinds of crops you can grow in them to start with, and you have a crop rotations of 3 crops. And you can't just keep growing wheat the same year over and over again. That's just not going to work. You're going to go down to like 0 proficiency in it, and or like 5% or whatever it's going to be. On the second year, you're just going to be wasting your time. So you need a crop rotation. So that's why I'm going to say we need 3 fields, and barley is going to be the most important one. And this is not my map zone right here. The other map right here is green for barley. So yeah, that's a good place to go to get that. So yeah, we're going to cut this field in half right here, and yeah, that's a good half point right there. We'll cut it in half and go to the road, and right there. So the Morgan size is like miles or something. You want at least 1 for your field, for your there. So we'll cover that right there. So there's our first field. We'll make our second field right there. It's over 1, good enough for me. And then we can check out our regular wheat fields right here. So we got some right here, and it doesn't really matter too much for the wheat as long as it's close enough. So we'll just build this one right here. 1, there you go, perfect. So we got our 3 fields. Now you have to worry about the organizing which ones you're going to want to do and when, because we're going to have to go to crop rotation. We can't, because like I said, you can't do the same thing. So we got barley on this one for the first one, and this one here was for wheat, so we know this one's going to be wheat for the first one, and so that means this one here should be flax. So we're going to stick that one to flax, and then the second one is going to be barley. And so yeah, if that one's going to be barley for the second one, then we need barley for the third one. So flax can be our second, and barley can be our third for that one. And then we can go to this field right here. We have barley, and yeah, we put this one over to wheat. So we need wheat on level 2. So we'll put wheat over here, and then of course, and then a flax for the last one. There you go. So now that the fields are set up and you're ready to go with them, we can't do farming right away, but this is an important factor to do because you need to know what you're dealing with your map. That's going to be important for later on. But yeah, I had to express that and do that. We could do the roads and stuff like that after. It's going to be a while before you actually build a farm and have guys actually working at it and stuff like that. But our priority right now is going to be our logging camps and where we're going to build our houses and stuff like that. And so that means you gotta check the terrain. And as you can see here, I've already noticed there is going to be like red lines in here. This is all hilly. So this hilly zone right here is not going to be ideal for building houses. So this zone right here is not going to be good for building houses. And it's pretty close to here. So we have our food resources here, and we have our rich iron deposits that we're going to build up there. So we're going to want to build closer up into this range over here. So if we're going to be focusing more in this area, maybe that's where we should build our logging camp. And that's the first building you're going to want to build right away. So we'll just stick this on this intersection right here, so he has access to a lot of stuff for the logging needs, and then we'll worry about the rest of it later. And then you can build a second logging camp somewhere else later on. Actually, we can stick our logging camp up here a little bit more in the middle. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. At the moment, it doesn't matter. We'll just stick it right there for now. Is get this logging camp, put it up the highest priority, so you're good to go on that. So, yeah. And the next thing you're going to want to do is we realize how much money you have. You have 50 wealth, and we're going to use it all with their, effectively, right? That's the part of getting started. Now, this is for logistics. We're going to assign our first family to this guy right away because these are going to be the guys that are going to be carrying these logs around for our buildings. And that's going to be important. Faster you can move your logs around, the faster your construction is going to go, and the faster everything's going to happen right away. And that's the whole point of getting started. And that's the most important part of getting started is that right there. So we have all of these nice berry buildings and stuff like that right there. And since we're going to be focusing more on this side of the map, we have this section right here. I guess we can use it and try and use that effectively for ourselves, or over here. It doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, let's just do that and worry about that. So, because the next and most important is getting that food off the ground, like I said. So we got to go to logistics, and we have to get our storehouse. And so there's our hunting area. So we'll just stick our storehouse anywhere. So we're going to make a road across here. So we'll put the storehouse here, and then we'll put the granary there too, right, for our storehouse and our granary. And once they are up, build some roads. So take the road, build it over to here. Take the road here, we'll build it all the way across to where the berries are, and then we'll take this road here and we'll do another one, and we'll just have it straight across over to here. Actually, let's section it off a little bit more. Put it there, and then attach it to this road here, and then you can attach it to there. So they have a variety of places. I can't see where it is, but it's snapping. There we go. Doesn't really matter too much as long as they're there. And that's going to be our next priority, is getting this granary up and running and the storehouse up and running. We need to get those things done right away for our build, because we have to get the food off the ground. And it's going to happen like right away. We're going to see it. It's going to pop up that you have a problem with that. Besides the homeless people freezing in your approval rating. And these guys are running right through this area, so let's make a road. Let's help them out. They're going to run through here. Use a road. We're going to take that way. There you go. So there they are. Our resources are out and exposed. We need the people to do this stuff. We can just ignore these messages for now. They don't matter. Yeah, so they're building this stuff right away. And the next thing we have to worry about, of course, after we get the food off the ground, is housing, because we don't want to lose our food to crap. That would suck. And then so we have got to build our housing. And as we can see right here, we have lots of room, and this is nice and flat. So this is a good location. Our production buildings can go up here, I guess, and this could be the start of the housing. But we have this little lip right here, unfortunately, for ourselves. But just build to your terrain. So we're going to build our houses, our big houses, along this line right here, I guess, right? A nice straight line. This is straight right here. Yeah, so line it up and line it up that way. So there we go. This is going to be our straight angle across here. But we're not going to build this road right away for ourselves, because Yeah, we just don't want to see it. It's going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. So that's just going to be where the road is going to be. Just to eyeball it for yourself, and we'll just turn it over there, and we can start building our houses because we don't have enough wood to actually do this. We got 2 pieces of wood. That is it. But we have to section these off, and this is going to be part of the tips on getting the best resources that you're going to have, and that is building enough for having big, huge plots for carrots because the size is going to matter for that. It says so in the description. It's not a cheat or anything like that, and I saw somebody linked me a video of a cheat for food, and I laughed my ass off. Like, stop making fucking clickbait. That's fucking lies, basically, right? Read the description of what it says when you're doing it. That's all you got to do is read the description. A big, long field. So we're going to adjust our field size right here and get it to the proper length because it snaps to the road, as you can see, right? This snap is too small for our house, and this is going to be too big for it. So that's why we don't build the roads right away. We just do that and eyeball it. And then we need a big, huge, long distance. Like, I'm talking huge right there. So we have a big backyard like this. So there you have it. That is how you get started on there, and we'll build our house like that. So we want our first 5 houses to be just like that. So we're going to build the other ones, right after, right? So we just go over here, and we can build a few more over this way, or leave some room for this roadway right here for extra buildings, I guess. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, over here we can do it, and we'll just go over here, and that will be like another 5 houses. We're going to need another 5 houses to start with because you want 6 because you got 5 people plus 1. So there you have it. So as soon as we get the logs, we can build another 5 houses like this for ourselves. And then we want this long distance right here for our farming needs. If you really want to know the farming distance on here, we can tell you that. So we can build a road there, and this can be the middle of the house of our section right here. So we'll just go down to here, I guess, and then we can show you on how you can measure this and how I measured it when I was testing out these sizes. And I don't know if it's going to matter if it's bigger or not than that, but the minimum size that you can have to cover all the vegetables, and the same thing for orchards, is going to be 12 sections, basically 12 snap points. So this is our first snap point, basically right here, and that's like 1 snap point, and then 2, and that's going to cover the house, right? And then 10 more for the fields. So that's because the fields themselves were 10, right? So you just go like 2, and then 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's going to be about the size, right? Probably the maximum size right there. It's like, get to 12. I would go a little bit farther for yourself, and then maybe even more, because it doesn't matter. This is going to be the edge of the town that you're going to be making. And the size in the back here probably doesn't matter too much after you've reached the 12 points on the beside the roadway. But once that is done, you can test it for yourself. Do one at that 12 minimum, and then do one at 24, and see if that matters for the food supply. It doesn't really read it as such. We have to wait till this stuff is done being built for that to happen. Yeah, but these guys are building the stuff. It's far away from the logging camp right now, so that was a pain. Yeah, we got nobody on the logging camp. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. As soon as that logging camp is built, put your first guy on there. Storehouse is built, put a guy on there. Granary, as soon as the granary gets built, put a guy on there right away. We're gonna take these guys off, but we need this food out of the weather. As soon as they're gone, then you're good to go on that. So finish building this, please, and thank you. Come on, we're on fast. We got the logging camp going. We had the logs for it, obviously, and our food is going down, or that's how you get started in this game. I'm waiting for the guy to pop up there. That's why you have extra guys to do this kind of stuff. There, granary is done. Now we can put the guy on there and wait until the food is gone, right? As soon as the storage stuff is gone and they're not exposed anymore, we're not going to lose them in wintertime, we can take them off and not worry about these things for a while until your other supplies are getting full, or that those things pop up again. So there you go, supplies are done. That's all you have to wait for. Go build stuff. We have more stuff to build. Get to work on there. So yeah, once that is done, we got some timbers going up there, and we are going to be, the food is gone. There we go, food is gone. So yeah, that is the first thing that you're going to want to do, is size out your houses and get them started. Now the next part is going to be covering these needs to level them up. So all of your houses are going to have these little needs right here, and that's going to help them get to level 2. A level 2 on the house upgrade is going to give you free money every turn, and we need that money because we're going to be running out of money right away as we show you where we're going to spend it. And the first thing we're going to spend it on is going to be carrots. carrots, because that's going to be, yeah, it says right there, the yield depends on the plot size, right? It doesn't matter for chickens, it doesn't matter for goats. You don't want to bother building goats for the hides too much, because you have hunting for that, and you're not going to need that many hides to cover the clothing costs that you're going to want to use. But the chickens, on the other hand, you're going to want lots of these too, but having the big field, it doesn't matter. And we have a limited supply of gold that we're going to have. So yeah, we're going to go with the chicken houses right there. But before we build our second house, we want to get some of the other basics being built. And that's going to be the second logistics place right there. Where's logistics? The second hitching post. We're going to need that. And of course, we're going to want one dedicated for our logging camp. So we're going to build another hitching post up here. We're going to place the order for the next oxen right away. Like as soon as you get this basic stuff that's out of the way, get this done. So you can have the second hitching post, because so you have one guy that's on, you can have one guy with the logs getting the wood, and then one guy delivering the wood to your houses. So that's what you want to get started on there. So once that is ready to go, your guys are going to need water, of course. So you just go over here, find a place where you can stick a well. Maybe it will fit in the middle. That'd be a nice place to put it, but yeah, it doesn't really matter. This little nook right here, I guess, is close enough to where we're going to be building our town. But yeah, once that is started, the next most important thing is covering these needs to level them up, of course. So what's that we need first is the church. Next is we're going to need that tavern up and running. And we need all these clothing stalls, and then we need another clothing stall, and more supply of food, and lots of supply of fuel for all of our different houses. And each one of these matters, because right now this is just one family. And the different the sizes of your plots are going to matter, right? So we can go right here, and we can show you what I mean. So right over here, we can stick the next one up here, and that's a little bit thicker, and it can make it a little bit shorter and a little bit thicker than that. That's why I don't like these snap points myself, right? This snap point, like right here, was almost enough room to cover that. So there we go. Yeah, we can make an extension up there, so it's not too straight, but there you go. As long as it has an extension. I know this isn't pretty. Maybe we can adjust this so it's a little bit higher. And move it over there. Yeah, so that's not really high and straight, but yeah, you get the idea. Building something like this is nice, because that other extension on there is just, you add it in there, it's just more wood later on at any time. And the needs for this here house right here is going to be the same as this one right here. So, but it's going to have 2 people. So that means that's like 100% efficiency bonus right there on population. And at level 3, these kind of houses will get a second person in there, but those ones there I showed you with the extra extension will have 4, and that means that 4 families will have their needs covered by just one access to food and shelter and stuff like that. So that's going to be very efficient for yourself, because that means a lot less variety of foods and clothing being distributed amongst all your different houses, which is going to be very handy to have for yourself. So that's the pros and the cons of building these different styles of houses that you have. The long ones for vegetables at the very edge of the town. My town's going to be up here, and the next level of the town is going to be like those thick houses like I showed you, right? It's going to be those ones there. I don't really need to build it right now, but you get the idea on the size of it, right? So there to about there, I think it was there, a little bit over more, so it's a little bit extended. So yeah, a sloppy house like that is going to be nice for adding families and resources together. So we have that, and now we have to build our next most important thing is going to be the marketplace. So the marketplace is going to be the center of your town, and all the needs are going to be covered by things that are closest to it. And that's what one of the tests we're going to have is just like move the marketplace stalls around after the fact, right? So that is our edge right there. The road should fit in there. That should be like 2 sizes, no, a little bit more, I guess, a little bit more out farther. Doesn't really matter too much. As long as we get the angles. There you go. That's good. That's good enough, all right? It's 18 market stalls is going to be more than enough to cover your needs, I guess, for the rest of the game for yourself. So yeah, we'll just build our road to connect it, and build a road through there to connect that, and then another road up here to connect there. There you go. And then our roads will go across here too, right? So our road will go like straight across to there. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we could stick our fat houses in here for our population density. But what's going to be another important factor to know when you're building your houses is to have other just regular properties too, right? So, and that means, and for your minimum that you're going to want to have, if you're doing a map like this, is going to be 4. That's going to be the minimum you're going to want for your houses with small houses. Like that's a little bit bigger than that. for our size. We don't have the wood for it. That's 5. So yeah, got that a little bit wrong. But just just eyeball it. Just do this until you get the 4 stalls with a backyard. The backyard can be small. Make the backyard as small as possible. It doesn't matter. But we have the ones that are going to be closest to the market stall are going to have access to all of these goods first, and that means they can level up faster. And we want these houses over here, for example, to be leveled up to level 2 right away. So we can get them to have their produce the goods that we're going to need. Well, it doesn't have to be right away, but you still need level 2 guys for taxes. But as is what I do. I stick these fat houses here with chickens to get eggs, and then I put the other ones over here for doing the specialty goods. And I'll build some more houses up here maybe, and I'll stick the church up here, right? So since we got our market stall and all that kind of stuff, right? So build a road. Is this middle area? It's a better middle area right there. So we'll do that, and then another section for the churches and stuff like that, and the taverns and stuff like that. So they cover our houses, our densely populated houses. Stick another layer of houses maybe around them, that type of thing. But yeah, the priority is getting the firewood and getting the this part right here. And then to actually level up your houses is the other tip I have, is for the marketplace, right? You have houses that are way over on this side of the map, and they're not being covered by the resources because you got houses all throughout here that are getting all the resources first. Just stick another marketplace around over here, right? Just build another marketplace, a small one, not a big one like that. And then once these stalls are built, you just move them. Just take the stall and move it over to this other location here. And then that means the houses that are near that stall have the priority for the goods, which means you can level them up. So you're not going to have much of a problem after that. And then you can just move them back again, right? So after you level them up to level 2, take those stalls, put them back to where they were, and then delete that market area because your house is level 2. You don't have to worry about that too much anymore. And that's how you can minimize and maximize your goods that you have. So I'm just going fast right now. I didn't even build those things yet, right? So I built those granaries and stuff. I didn't build the actual farming things for them. There you go. Just I'll build the hunting one there, and I'll build the fruit one up there. There you go. Doesn't matter. There you go. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, guys. I probably got lots of extra wood. I don't have lots of extra wood, but I'm getting it. But yeah, that's what you do for your next priority on there is, of course, after you have your house set up ready to go, or before you even have your house set up ready to go, get your foraging hut up and running, and get your hunting camp up, and you don't have to make it running, but just get enough food to cover your needs, right? The food's going to run out, so you need that right away. But you have such low population, you're gonna get your food. Your hunter's gonna get lots of food like right away. Like that's I don't know why he didn't get real food. He just hunted a guy for 2 skins, I guess, and not food, or maybe the food was eaten. Well, there's now he's got 4 food, and the food already went up by another month, right? So you don't have to leave these guys in here for long, but it is nice to have them in there for a little bit, as long as possible, right? The food stall is done. We got some food in there. I'll wait till you have 6 or 8 or food that's covered for them each, and then move them off to something else, and then worry about the other priorities, because that's going to be the saw pit, because we have our lumber yard up here going up and running. So let's go ahead, and the next thing you're going to build is, if I can get this to snap, maybe there's logs in the way. Come on. Oh, that's the hitching post. Yeah, that's why. So we'll stick that there, and then the logging camp thing, the saw pit, we'll stick in there. There you go. Because what we're going to do after that is, we can start these things getting ready to build, because we're going to need that firewood too right away. The saw pit, we can't really focus on that too much right away, because we need the houses first. So after you get, some basic food supplies up and running for yourself, this guy's got some food, you can take him off, put him on some berries for now, that type of thing when you're playing, and then we can get these other houses built, right? So we'll just go over there and go to the proper housing and get the rest of them built, because we're going to need another 5 houses for ourselves. So of course we want these long ones for ourselves. We don't have enough wood yet, so that sucks. So yeah, we just have to wait till we get enough wood to build get these houses up and running. And then you're good to go from there. Just get your 5 houses and your 6 house in there, so you can actually have that. And your first two houses that you're going to build, the long ones, are going to have carrots in them. That's going to spend up all your money And then you're gonna have, once you get those two up with carrots, you should be, by the next year you should be good to go to actually start building your, you can build this before that if you want to, but yeah, build your trading post and get that up and running so you can actually start selling your extra vegetables and your extra berries and stuff that you collect, or anything extra that you're gonna have, just so you can get some more money to buy some more carrots, right? So just get that, buy more carrots, and then have these other fat houses here, getting some more eggs, so you have that variety of food that you're going to need on there. So yeah, and get your, of course, just get your stuff built right away. Get your church up as fast as possible after you have your basic housing supply, because that's going to be your best resource for getting your happiness up there. I think it's like a +6 on happiness for having a church or something like that. And you need your extra people because you're losing it for homelessness, and that's why you have to you need the food and the fuel, but you need the houses too. But once you have that basic stuff done, you can start worrying about micromanaging your marketplaces and that kind of thing for leveling up once you have all that other stuff built. But yeah, let's cover the level ups and then so we can be done, because that's just the basics. You're going to need the clothing, and you can then you just follow the game's mechanics, and you'll figure this out there. But yeah, let's cover all the level ups, because as soon as you get your 5 houses done, you're going to have your first level up for yourself, and you're not going to get very many of these, right? The next level up, you're going to have to have level 2 houses. So that's why I say get that church up and running as fast as possible, because that's the only way to get your things up to level 2, and that's going to be level 2 for you. And you're only going to have like 5 levels at most, I think, for yourself, and that's going to be picking these things. Then they're all nice in their own way. Like this 4 on supply carts, you can only have 1, but they give you free bread and free firewood constantly. It's almost free, but it's nice and cheap and easy. Faster plows and bread making, super fast bread making is nice. Fertilization is nice. It all depends if you're going to have sheep or not. Like my zone was okay for doing stuff. But if your zone sucks, you might want to consider going with sheep and the plowing and the fertilization and the apples and the rye cultivation, so you can have better crops that are growing, and then you can have your sheep will be more effective and all that kind of stuff for yourself. And then extra food resource for apples, and treat them just like you treat the carrots for resources, right? You have just more long houses, and the apples will eventually give you some yields that are higher than the carrots, just not much higher. They cost twice as much, but they take a long time. They're not that as great as they seem for them, but they're still decent. It's another food source, and the more food sources you have, the better your people are going to be off, right? So they're going to be happier, and it's better than paying for it, right? These other ones over here are always nice too. Like if you have a good trapping zone for it all depends what you have. If you have good hunting or even bad hunting, trapping is always good. It's extra as a passive meat, and then double the meat for this one here. We don't need the skinning. Your hides will take care of themselves usually. So, but for selling resources, that's okay. The double the berries, you might want that, you might not. It's not in the new food. It's just extra of these things. So it's not really that great of a thing to have for yourself. But yeah, because you're just focusing on one type of food is not the best thing. But you want to make sure you have enough. And then there's honey also, but you can only have 2 honey things going. That might be not good. But for me, in this zone right here, for example, I have rich deposits. And this upgrade right here for deep mining is only for rich deposits. If you don't have rich deposits, it's probably not worth putting a point into coal. You just don't have enough. But if you do have rich deposits for deep mining, it's definitely worth putting. You definitely want to go in there and get that first, and get your basic armor up there too, right? So you can get your armor skills up there, so you can make the upgraded weapons and armor for yourself. If you have to fight guys, that's going to be really important. So that's what I would focus on for myself on this map here. Would be getting the charcoal pit, would be getting the basic armory, and then I would have to judge by level 3 if I actually need the deep mining yet or not, because it's a big difference on the resources. The policies, I would ignore them all. Wild animals on rich deposit breed twice as fast at the cost of 50% of your crops being yielded. If you have no crops if you have a shitty crop zone and you're just not going to do them and just import them, then this would be good if you have a rich hunting zone, because who cares about your crops if you're just going to import your rye and barley and stuff like that for your food needs, and then you can just you can double up on that. But yeah, every 5th food for appeal, you don't want to lose your approval. You just don't want to do that. So that's not really, it saves you some food, but you just don't want that. Everything else doesn't work. It's not implemented, so it's not important yet to worry about that. And of course, this is going to be all done with balance changes, and what's going to happen next, who knows. But anyway, anyways, that is my tips for you on getting started. Hopefully you got some ideas on what you can do to get some extra food right here. You can trade that stuff off there, get some more money, use that money for food, get your church built right away, and then of course, build your stone place right away too, and get your manor up and running, right? We want all that extra food. You want to get your tavern out there. You want to get your manor up right away at the cost of even cutting out some of the other things. So as soon as you get your manor out there and a lot of food, that's why I say the first 5 plots you want to make, or 6 plots, is going to be with the vegetables. And then you want that trader out right away, and then you can sell those vegetables to get money to do your other backyards with more vegetables. So your big plots over here, I'm going to put another, you put another 3 plots over this side, another 5 over in this side, type of a thing. So you have all of those, collecting all those vegetables, which you can then sell for yourself and cover some of the basic food needs at the same time. And then once that's covered, you're golden on buying stuff, right? So that's what the whole idea is, to get all that money, and then you can tithe it to the church and get your influence up, and that's how you claim the other lands. And then if you're playing the combat stuff, you're going to want to kill these bandit camps right away. And those, okay, the bandit camp way over there, that's pretty damn far for us, but they can still steal shit off you. So if you're playing this, the idea is to go there and kill the bandit camps as fast as possible before they can. The troops on them, it should be like 16 guys. So they start you off with 20 for your army. So as soon as you get your population up high enough to get 20, they usually give you the spears, right? The spears and the shields for 20. I don't know why I didn't get any this time. I don't know why I don't have any. Usually they give you that. Yeah, I don't have any. So maybe they give it to you as a lump sum later on, but yeah, sometimes they'll give you 20 of each of these, and that's going to be good enough to kill those the first maybe 3 or 4 groups of bandits before your guys start dwindling off. But yeah, just go ahead. Arrows, your archers are pretty weak and will die really fast, but it's really easy to make bows because you just need wood. That's it to make them. They're good to sell too. There you have it. That's about it for the combat part of it, because you just need a shit ton of resources to make real armies, and you're going to need like at least 5 or the enemy is going to come at you with 5 units at a time. So just be aware of that. If you're going to you want to fight this guy, he's going to send 5 units of 30 guys at you. So that's going to be your goal, to get that many people. That is a ton of people and a ton of food that you're going to need before you start taxing yourself to actually hire mercenaries and stuff like that. Just it's one of those things that's just going to be a pain in the ass. That's why it's good to have your own rich iron deposits to make your own big, huge armies and tons of houses, doubled up for population boosts and keeping them happy is nice. That's why this whole section over here would be double houses and just a couple for single houses for crafting needs, because you don't want a family of 4 crafting something. That you don't need a lot of, because they're going to be wasted people doing nothing, taking up resources. But there you have it. Hopefully I covered enough of the starter tips for you to get started on here, and so you can have a nice quick and easy start to this game, so you can actually survive throughout these different challenges that they have through all the combat and bandits stealing your shit and attacking you eventually and all that kind of fun stuff, so you can get your army out right away. But yeah, just first time playing it, don't play the map with the army stuff on it, so you don't have to worry about all that kind of crap. Just worry about how fast your food's going to go down. Even with your big food supplies like this, you're still going to lose lots of food on this game. So there you go. Thanks for watching, and I will see you later.